I used to post these kinds of videos in 2018, but as you can see, I think I've improved from that. I create clay creations, but it's mostly based on the game Little Nightmares. It's been very inspiring for someone like me. Since 2018, I haven't been able to save up the courage to do this kind of thing again, and now I have the courage. This is a little idea from Little Nightmares. I gave it a new name. It's called Sad Guy, and I spent not that long on it, but it's still one of my most favorite clay creations. His story combines that he was a healthy man, he had a family, he had kids. It was a happy life he lived. But once upon a time, he was just walking on his way, and then he saw a grandma in the street begging for money. And then the grandma asked him for money, a little bit of cash. And he said, "Sorry, I don't have cash on me." And she said, "Give me money or you will regret it." And then he said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but I don't have any cash. I apologize." Then he turned around and went home. When he went home, he didn't feel tired, anxious, or anything. He was just happy to be home, as he always was. But once he came home, but he did a lot of work. His work was kind of weird because he was in a tile company, but everyone who worked there hated him because he was too positive and happy all the time. But when he went home, he saw that his entire family was sick because it was flu season. And then he said, "Why didn't I get the flu?" He always hated doing something that his family didn't do with. But then he finally saw what happened. It was about 4 months later. It was his birthday. Everything had gone according to plan, but one mistake went wrong. He saw the same grandma he saw that day. Then he tried to walk over to her, but then she quickly left. But before she left, she said something very weird in some sort of language. He found out 20 years later why. As he was walking home that day, he had been robbed. Then he went home terribly crying, sad. His family was waiting for him happily, but he wasn't happy either because the mugger had stolen everything that he owned. They were getting loans. They just were doing something very, very bad. A couple of years go by. Everything bad starts to happen to this guy. He gets mugged over and over and over again. But then once, it's his birthday again, but he's realized he hasn't aged at all. He's 52 now. But 2 years ago, he was 50, right? Nothing had changed. He was still the same. Literally nothing. But then, slowly but surely, his family started to pass one by one. First his wife, then his daughter, then his son, and then slowly everyone that he loved. He had been living on the street. He had tried to tell everyone what was happening about global warming and all that stuff. He had tried to fight. He had tried to become the president, but it didn't work. He was gone crazy because he was just out of his mind. Then a couple million years later, the earth starts to shatter itself. Everyone who isn't smart or a grown-up is retarded or not even alive anymore. At the least, he was still on Earth, still saying everything, but this time there was no one to listen and call him crazy, because he was the only one left. Then one day, Earth blew up. As he was immortal, that was the bad thing, because he just witnessed everyone and everything that he loved slowly disappear, as he did.